Good afternoon, baseball fans. This is Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy with Raider Baseball coming to you this evening from beautiful Raider Field in Selma, Indiana. This is the 2018 Wapahani Invitational Championship game as the 4-5 Park Tudor Panthers take on your 11-3 Wapahani Raiders. Wapahani was able to get the victory in the first game of the day when they took on Cambridge City. The Raiders took them down by a final score of 6-2 to advance on to tonight's championship game. Wapahani got a great pitching performance by Riley Porter here this morning, and then also some good timely hitting as well, and execution on errors. Cambridge City ended up having 7 errors in the game. Wapahani ended up having 7 hits on 6 runs there, and they just really they took care of business when the opportunity especially presented itself. So, when you're able to do the little things correctly, take advantage when your opponent's obviously making some mistakes, and it really worked out well for us. So, glad to have all you with us here this evening as we get right into things with our Liberty Perry Alumni Association pregame report. As I mentioned here, Wapahani got the victory over Cambridge City this morning. Park Tudor defeated Knightstown in what was really a pretty good matchup of 2 impressive baseball programs there between those 2 teams. And Park Tudor, always a team that we like to be familiar with. About 5-6 years ago or so, we had a little bit more of a rivalry with them when we faced them in regionals. So when we get these 2 teams together, it's always an interesting day at the ballpark. So I'm sure they're going to be out here bringing their A game. We're going to hopefully bring ours as well, and hopefully we'll come on top here as usual. Also, we're having, looks like Brevin Rivers on the mound here today. Like I said, we got a good pitching performance from Riley Porter this morning. We're expecting much the same here from Brevin here this evening. We'll have Tyson Lipscomb obviously behind home plate. Hopefully those guys correlate with one another rather well and get off to a good start, and hopefully we can bring the boomsticks today. Like I said, the hitting started really getting it going as the game went along. And this morning's game, obviously we put up 10 runs on Cowan the other night. So we're looking to continue to press the bats and get things going early and often offensively, so we're not having to play from behind majority of the ball game. So we'll see what happens here today. It's a beautiful day for baseball. The clouds have started to open up a little bit. We're having some sunshine and still a little cool, but hey, it's always a great day for baseball. So we'll go ahead and step aside for a break. This has been our Liberty Perry Alumni Association pregame report on the WHS Network. We'll be back with today's starting lineups and national anthem.
Please help us in maintaining this policy.
All righty, welcome back here, folks, as we introduce today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Park Tudor Panthers, 4-5 here on the year. Take a look here, leading things off in pitching, number 8, Chris Wilson. Batting second, playing left field, number 3, Michael Ruiz. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 10, Tommy Gallagher. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 12, Jake Baker. He'll be hitting for the center fielder, Number 7, Caleb Thomas. Batting 5th, playing third base, number 21, Hank Seymour. Batting 6th and playing second base, number 5, Alexander Drix. Batting 7th, first base, number 6, Ethan Scroggins. Batting 8th and catching, number 4, Jennifer Oberther. And batting 9th, right fielder, number 13, Graham Fisher. The Panthers are coached by Courtney Whitehead.
And now for your Wapahani Raiders.
Now we'll take a look here at the starting lineup for your Wapahani Raiders. Leading off and playing center field, number 15, Garrett Stanley. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 12, Chandler Wise. Batting third and catching for the Raiders, number 3, Tyson Lipscomb. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 22, Braxton Davis. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 23, Drew Young. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 8, Stephen Vickery. Batting seventh and pitching, number 17, Brevin Rivers. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 11, Isaiah Brozier. And batting ninth, playing right field, number 4, Riley Longfellow. Again, your Raiders are coached by Brian Dudley, assisted by Jason Dudley, Randy Murphy, Willie Pease, Blake Turner, and Drew Brandt. So again, that's today's starting lineups for the 2018 Wapahani Invitational Championship game. We'll step aside and we'll be back with tonight's first pitch right here on the WHS Network. Alrighty, welcome back here, folks, to the 2018 Wapahani Invitational Championship game. Again, featuring the 4-5 Park Tudor Panthers and your 11-3 Wapahani Raiders. Again, your Jones Auto Body defensive alignment here for this evening's ball game. Isaiah Brozier out in left, Garrett Stanley in center field, Riley Longfellow over and right. Around the horn here, we have Braxton Davis at third, Chandler Wise at shortstop, Stephen Vickery at second, and at first, Drew Young. And then your battery this evening will be Brevin Rivers on the mound and Tyson Lipscomb behind home plate. So again, that is our Jones Auto Body defensive alignment. Speaking of which, we'd like to thank Jones Auto Body, a proud sponsor here of the WHS Network, owned by J.R. Fanon, located in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been servicing the community for over 30 years. So if you have any questions or need them to take a look at your vehicle, make sure to contact Jones Auto Body at 765-284-2593. Again, that is Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality. So here we are, folks, with today's first pitch in the championship game. And it's going to be a ground ball. The shortstop Wise collects, throws, and that will be out number one. So one pitch, one out of Chris Wilson. So now we'll have the left fielder number 3, Michael Ruiz, standing in here. Rivers with the pitch. Nice breaking ball right there. Just a bit outside for a ball, 1-0. It's been a beautiful day. Again, could be a little bit warmer, but not going to complain. We started out with nothing but clouds, and finally those clouds have subsided here a little bit. Got some sunshine out here. Man, completely fooled the batter there. Looked like it was heading right for him. And instead it made a dash inside there for a ball. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. Up and away now, 3-1. And the Raiders beat Cambridge City in the first game of the day. Then Park Tudor beat Knightstown in the second game. As that's in there, called a strike now. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Rivers rocks back the payoff pitch, and that's going to be ball 4, low and away. So a 1-out walk here to Michael Ruiz as he will trot on down to first. And now the shortstop, number 10, Tommy Gallagher, standing in with 1 out and 1 on. So Rivers looking to roll up a double play right here to get out of the inning. Well, nub shot back to the backstop area. Now 0-1 here on Gallagher. Rivers takes a long look in there. And the 0-1 offering drops right on in there for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes here on Gallagher. Ruiz at first with 1 out here in the opening inning. Middle infield in double play depth. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. See you later. So now 2 outs here in the inning after the strikeout of Gallagher. And now the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter number 12, Jake Baker.
Jake Baker.
And a pitch from Rivers will be a line shot down the right field line and foul. So 0-1 here on Baker. So no balls, 1 strike to Baker. 2 out here in the inning. And a ground ball right back up the middle. Wise will collect, and he'll be safe at second. A little surprised he didn't go ahead and go on the first after the bobble.
The third baseman, number 21, Hank Seymour.
So now a pair of runners on after the error by Chandler Wise. Ruiz now at second, Baker at first, and the third baseman, number 21, Hank Seymour, now to plate. Here's the pitch from Rivers. In there for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Seymour, the number 5 hitter in the order. As Brevin Rivers is trying to escape some early trouble here in the top of the first inning. Called a strike on the outside part of the plate, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Rivers comes to the set. The windup and the 1-1 will be fouled off behind the backstop area out of play. Now 1-2. Rivers once again comes to the set here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. See you later. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. So the Panthers able to get a couple base runners aboard after a walk and an error, as they get nothing to show for it here in the top half of the first inning. No runs on no hits, 1 error and 2 left on. We will head to the bottom of the first inning here from beautiful Raider Field, tied at 0. Alrighty, welcome back here, folks. Are we set to begin here in the bottom half of the first? The Raiders will lead things off here with the center fielder, number 15, Garrett Stanley. Had a pretty good first game here for himself, a couple hits. Just a bit outside to begin things, 1-0 here on Stanley. Again, the man on the mound here today, Chris Wilson, for the Park Tudor Panthers. Ball 2, low and away. So 2 balls, no strikes here to the leadoff man, Garrett Stanley. That'll be a low and inside, now 3-0. And, the benefit strike. Not quite sure about that one, but nevertheless, 3 balls, 1 strike. Wilson gets the signs, rocks back, and the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. I don't know really what the difference was between that pitch and the other one, but alrighty then. So a leadoff walk to begin things here for the Raiders. And now we will see the shortstop, number 12, Chandler Wise.
Number 12, Chandler Wise.
So you got your leadoff man on via the walk there to Garrett Stanley. Wilson takes a long look in there. Stanley off and running, and he's going to be in there sliding safely at second base with a steal. So he puts himself in scoring position. Oh and 1 here on Wise. Got a man out there now in scoring position. Great opportunity here for us to begin the ball game. In the dirt right there now to even a count here at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the Raiders supporting the alternate jerseys, I guess, if you will. Wapahani has their white jerseys, and now just got these in as well not too long ago. A couple weeks ago, the black and white and red jerseys on today. So time called once again here. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wise. Wilson gets what he likes. And the 1-1 will be a deep fly ball into center field. Center fielder makes the play. Stanley thought about tagging up and boot scooting on to third, but instead he held up. And that will be the first down of the inning. Now the catcher, number 3, Tyson Lipscomb,
The catcher, number 3, Tyson
at the plate for the Raiders. Still got Stanley at second base after a walk and a stolen base. Inside, and Stanley will take off for third with no play. So a wild pitch advances Stanley on the third. 1-0 the count here on Lipscomb. Inside, ball 2. So a great place to hit right here if you're Tyson. You don't have to swing, only if it's good. Only, you want to give something that you can drive. Ground ball to the right side, that will get the run home. So nicely done there by Lipscomb. Nicely done indeed. Getting the job done, a productive out. No, you never want to get out, but at least it was a productive one. So well done there by Tyson.
Third baseman, number 22, Braxton Davis.
A sacrifice ground out. And now with 2 out and nobody on, the third baseman, number 22, Braxton Davis, will now stand in. In there, called a strike. Looked a little bit outside there, but we'll go with it. There's the 0-1 from Wilson. And that's going to be laced into right field. Nice piece of hitting there by Braxton. So a 2-out base hit right there from Braxton Davis, which will now bring up the first baseman, number 23, Drew Young. As the Raiders continue to threaten to put more runs up on the board here in the opening inning. So Young will stand in here, a little over 300 batting average on the season, as Davis is back in there safely at second base. Following Young will be second baseman Stephen Vickery. And a windup and a pitch, as that one will be fouled back and out of play. 0-1 here on Young. Again, the Raiders put on a solid performance here this morning. Got a little lazy, a tad bit on the defensive side at times. End up having 3 errors, but for the most part, defense was good. Offense got it together and executed when opportunities presented itself, and the pitching was great as usual. As Young will get that one in the left field. That's going to get by the left fielder. Here comes Davis around third. Young more than likely will stay put at second, and Davis will score on the play as the Raiders now take a 2-0 lead. Another fine piece of hitting there by the Raiders' first baseman, Drew Young. With 2 out here in the inning, a little 2-out magic here. So a hit and an error allowed Braxton Davis to score. So in there, called a strike here on Raiders second base, number 8, Stephen Vickery. 0-1. You got Young out at second base. A ground ball to the third base side over to first. And that will end the inning. But the Raiders strike for 2 here in the opening frame as they get 2 runs here on 2 hits. Also 1 error and 1 left on. As we head to the top of the second from Raider Field, the Raiders lead it 2-0. Welcome back here to the top of the second inning here on YouTube.com with Raider Baseball as the Raiders lead it 2-0 after an inning of play here from Raider Field. Glad to have all you with us here this evening as Wapahani and Park Tudor get together here in this 2018 Wapahani Invitational Championship game. So we'll lead off the top of the second inning here with the second baseman, number 5, Alexander Drix, as he will swing and miss on that one, 0-1 to begin things. Again, the Panthers in the opening inning had a couple runners on base. Nothing to show for there, and Stanley thought about laying out for that one as the hat flies off. And a leadoff single for Drix.
First baseman, number 6, Ethan Scroggins.
It's already one on, nobody out here with the first base, number 6, Ethan Scroggins, now at the plate. Middle infield playing in double play depth. Good hustle there by Stanley, just unfortunately couldn't come away with one, as Drix was able to get a little bloop shot to fall in. So Rivers gets the signs, comes to the set, and the pitch. And that's going to be in a 5 and 6 hole. So back-to-back hits to lead off the Panthers' second.
The catcher, number 4, Jennifer Oberthur.
So 2 on and no out here with the catcher, number 4, Jennifer Oberthur, now at the plate. So Rivers here needing to get out of some trouble already here in the early goings of the second inning. 1 ball and no strikes here to Oberthur. Rivers will come to the set and the pitch. Ball low and away now, 2-0. Again, the Panthers have him at first and second, nobody out after a pair of base hits. To begin the top of the second inning, Rivers with the pitch, as that will be fouled down the right field line, and they will run out of room out of play. So 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 on and nobody out. Jennifer Oberthur there, the number 8 hitter in the order, with Graham Fisher following behind her. There's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled out of play. I thought for a second it might stay in. Nearly went in the trash can down there. Talk about a hole-in-one there. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Oberthur steps back in there. Rivers back on the rubber. Looks in there to Lipscomb and will come to the set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3 away. So Rivers having a little trouble here in the opening part of the second inning here. Hopefully he can escape damage. Here's the pitch. And a little bloop shot into center field. Stanley will get there for the first out of the inning.
The right fielder, number 13.
So a fly out there to center field for out number 1 will bring to the plate right fielder number 13, Graham Fisher. Following Fisher will be right back to the top of the order. Ground ball to the third baseman. Davis steps on third over to first, and good job there by Drew Young, just coming off the bag. That's all you got to do. Just make sure that the ball don't get by. You already got the out. Just leave it where it is. Make sure and make the proper play. Nicely done there by Davis, being able to get the out at third, and then by Young to come off the bag and not let anything get by. So Scroggins now at second base, Fisher at first. 2 out here in the inning, and 1-0 the count now back to the top of the order here with pitcher Chris Wilson. Rivers will come to the set and the pitch. Skied out of play, 1-1. Again, Wilson, his first time up then there in the opening inning, grounded out on the first pitch to the shortstop Chandler Wise. And a ground ball to the third baseman. Davis bobbles it, and there's going to be no play. That was a little bit of a tough hop there, but unfortunately backfires on the Raiders.
The left fielder, number 3, Michael Ruiz.
So that will now load the bases here. Scroggins at third, Fisher at second, and Wilson at first base. Then there for a strike, 0-1 here on the left fielder, number 3, Michael Ruiz. And that's going to be a ball now, 1-1. Close pitch there for Rivers. It's a big time batter right here. Up and in, now 2-1. Rivers has got to find a way to get out of the inning. Two balls in, 1 strike. So that will be a ball, now 3-1.
Come on, Brevin. Don't walk in and run.
Got to come up with a strike right here. And a fly ball in the left center field. Brozier calls him off and will make the play for the third and final out of the inning. So a good job there by Rivers and the Raiders defense getting them out of trouble here in the top of the second inning as the Panthers get no runs here on 2 hits. Also 1 error and 3 left on base. To the bottom of the second we go here from Raider Field, folks. We'll be back here with more right after this Stoops Automotive Group game break. Welcome back here to the bottom of the second inning on the WHS Network. Again, glad to have you with us here this afternoon or this evening, however you want to look at it. It's right around 5 o'clock, so it's evening time now. As Rivers will lead it off, their ground ball to the shortstop makes the play for the first down of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out to open the bottom of the second for the Raiders. And now we'll have the left fielder, number 11, Isaiah Brozier. Again, Brozier had a pretty good day at the plate here in the first game of the day. Able to get a hit there in that one, and he'll get a hit in this one as well. The right fielder bobbles it, and Brozier will be in there safely at second. So a fine piece of hitting there by Brozier to get this party started in the bottom of the second inning.
The right fielder, number 4, Riley Longfellow.
So the right fielder, number 4, Riley Longfellow, in here for a start here today. Good to see Riley in there. One out and one on. Ooh, chase the high one there, 0-1. So no balls, one strike here on Longfellow. You got Brozier at second. Wilson glances back at second base. Here's the pitch, and that will drop in there for strike two. So you got to have a two-strike approach here. Anything close, you're getting after it. Ball one, low and away. So good job of keeping your eye on that one. Following Longfellow will be at the top of the order with Garrett Stanley. Brozier, pretty good lead off of second base. Wilson with the windup and the pitch. A ball low, now 2-2. Oh, actually, that's going to be strike three. I'd like to know where that pitch was. That looked a little low, but alrighty. I'm not the man calling the balls and strikes. I'm just the man broadcasting whatever they're calling. So 2 out now in the inning. Brozier at second base, and the top of the order here with the center fielder number 15, Garrett Stanley. Now at the plate here, 1-0. He drew a walk in the first inning, stole a base, and scored a run after the sacrifice ground out by Tyson Lipscomb to get the Raiders on the board early in this one. So 2-0 the count here on Stanley. Chandler Wise awaits on deck. And Wilson will step off the rubber. Try to regather himself here. Be nice to see Stanley come up with a big-time hit here, or at least find a way to get on base somehow. Oh, man. And they're called a strike now, 2-1. Wilson glances at second. Here's the pitch. Fouled off on the right side, out of play. And it looked like, really it looked like Stanley was in protection mode right there. I mean, the way, more or less the way the strike zone's been, I would say at this point you're liable to have anything called a strike. So Stanley paying attention to that, and hopefully we'll be able to find a way to get on base here. Deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. A 2-0 lead for the Raiders in the second inning. That's going to be ball 3, and Brozier will be in there safely as the third baseman dropped the ball. So I think he might have got away with one there. But that's just going to go down as a stolen base. Nicely done there by Brozier, showing off the old wheels. Payoff pitch here, grounded to the third baseman and right through the wickets. Didn't get the old glove down. So unfortunate there for the young man, but fortunate there for the Raiders as they will pick up another run. Now a 3-0 lead as Brozier scores. So big-time stolen base there allowed Brozier really to score on that play. I mean, it probably would have been close. I'm sure he probably would have scored either way right there. But still, nicely done. Pickoff move back to first as Stanley will be in there safely. Chandler Wise now at the plate. Flew out to the center fielder in the first inning. Already 2 errors here in the ball game for Park Tudor. Stanley goes on the pitch. That's another stolen base here for the Raiders. So really running on Chris Wilson here today. got to give yourself an opportunity either way here. They're playing a little small ball, doing what they need to do in order to be successful. Pickoff move back to second, and Stanley just barely gets in there. So 2 balls and no strikes to Chandler Wise with a man in scoring position and 2 out here in the inning. Wilson will come to the set. Here's the pitch, and that will be in there. Called a strike now, 2-1. Wise trying to come up big here for Wapahani. Wilson with a pitch, and that's going to be lined in the left field, and a nice grab by the left fielder, robbing Chandler Wise of at least 1, maybe even 2 on that play. Could have been a nice double and definitely an RBI, but nice catch out there in left field will end the inning, so the Raiders are able to tack on another run as they get 1 run here on 1 hit, also 1 error, and 1 left on. We'll head to the top of the 3rd. Wapahani leads at 3-0. All righty, welcome back here at the top of the 3rd inning from Raider Field on the WHS Network. Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy as we are set to begin the top of the 3rd inning here with shortstop number 10, Tommy Gallagher. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouled off, out of play. 1 and 2 here on Gallagher. Rivers trying to have a clean inning of work here as that one's fouled off into the dugout. Hopefully the coach has got out of the way down there. Usually stand right there at the front of the dugout. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gallagher. Baker on deck. The windup and a pitch. Ball high now, 2-2. Gallagher on the day so far struck out swinging in the first. And a fly ball in the center field. Stanley goes back and now back forward for the first down of the inning. So now the designated hitter number 12, Jake Baker, now to plate. 0 for 1 so far today. Was able to reach base on an error by the shortstop in the first. Rivers with the windup and a pitch. Skied up in the shallow right field. The second baseman, Vickery, calls everybody off and makes the play for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down.
Number 21, Hank Seymour.
Are the Panthers here in the top of the 3rd. Third base, number 21, Hank Seymour at the plate. Fouled off there, 0-1 to begin things here for Seymour.
Seymour
Fly ball center field, Stanley Cam Sunder. That's a can of corn right there, and that's going to end the inning. So Rivers with a shutdown and clean inning of work here in the top of the third as the Panthers go down quietly here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Bottom of the third we go. Raiders lead it 3-0 here on the WHS Network. We're back at the break here. Again, the Stoops Automotive Group game break here. The Raiders lead it 3-0 here. 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. Park Tudor so far no runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. As we begin the bottom of the third, Wapahani with the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here in the third. As Tyson Lipscomb will lead things off here. 1 ball and no strikes here to the Raiders catcher. That will be in there, ball 2, now 2-0. Proud to say that the Wapahani Lady Raiders softball team got the job done today as they traveled to Lapel in a doubleheader. Take on the Bulldogs. They're really having a nice season for themselves. But Wapahani was able to take down the Bulldogs today, 8-4, 8-6 was the final scores of that doubleheader. So they now improve to 12-3 on the year. So Lipscomb fouled it off there. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wilson gets the signs and the pitch. Ball high and in. We'll run the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the payoff pitch. Ball 4. So Lipscomb will make his way down the first with a leadoff walk. And the third baseman, number 22, Braxton Davis, now at the plate. Davis 1 for 1. Later on scored a run after a error by the left fielder. Lipscomb back in air safely at first. There you go. And a fly ball in the center field. Center fielder had to come in quite a bit there as the wind did not help it any. So 1 out, 1 on. And the first baseman, 23, Drew Young. 1 for 1 here on the day. It was the one that had the base hit and then advanced on the second base on the error by the left fielder, which also ended up scoring Braxton Davis. Wapahani hoping to put at least one more run up on the board here in this inning. We've already put runs on the first 2 innings, as that will be in there called a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike here. Young swings and misses, now 0-2. So again, a nice stolen base there for Lipscomb. But unfortunately now Young in the hole here, 0-2. Vickery to follow after him. And the pitch, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 on and 1 out. And a fly ball in the shallow center field. That don't even get out of the infield. Shortstop makes the play. That will be the second out. So tough break there for Drew.
The second baseman, number 8.
Now the second baseman, number 8, Stephen Vickery. Hoping to have a little input here on this third inning. So see if he can come through with a big hit right here or get on base somehow. 3-0 Raiders lead it here in the bottom of the third inning. Lipscomb out at second base, 2 out. Tyson led off the inning with a walk. Later on stole second base. As that will be a ball low in the dirt, 1-0. And time called. We have a baseball that came onto the field of play from the bullpen. Yeah, Park Tudor's bullpen, may I say. Wapahani don't have anybody warming up. Rivers has been pretty good here so far, especially there in the top of this inning. Mowed right through the Panthers lineup. 2 balls, no strikes here to the Raiders' second baseman, Stephen Vickery. Wilson will come to the set. And the pitch in there, called a strike, now 2-1. That was a nice pitch right there by Wilson. So we'll see what Vickery can do here. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Is their coach a woman? Courtney Whitehead is who they say the coach is in my paper.
I have no idea. No.
Courtney Whitehead is not a woman.
He says no.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and a fly ball in the shallow center field. And the center fielder will make the play for the third out of the inning. So again, the Raiders threaten there with a leadoff walk. Nothing to show for here in the bottom of the third inning as they lead at 3-0. We'll be back with more Raider baseball on the WHS Network. Welcome back here to the WHS Network on YouTube.com. A 3-0 lead as we enter the top of the fourth for Wapahani in today's 2018 Wapahani Invitational Championship game. Again, the path to the championship here. Wapahani defeated Cambridge City in the first game of the day, while Park Tudor defeated Knightstown in the second game, and then Knightstown took care of business against Cambridge City in the consolation game to take third place home. So 0-2 here on the second baseman, Alexander Drix. Rivers will get a signs here from Lipscomb. Wind up and a pitch. Ball outside, 1-2. See you later. So Drix gone down on strikes here to begin the fourth. Again, Brevin had a very nice third inning there. Shut down the Panthers in order. The second inning got a little sketchy there. Had the bases loaded, but was able to find a way to get out of the inning. And then in the first inning, did have a couple base runners, but nothing worth too much of a big deal there. And there again for another ball. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Here on first baseman, number 6, Ethan Scroggins. Called strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. And a fly ball left center field, and Stanley will get there in time. Speedy Garrett Stanley. So 2 up and 2 down.
The catcher, number 4, Jennifer Oberther.
Smell. What's that smell? It's not good. She got it.
So the catcher, number 4, Jennifer Oberther at the plate. With nobody on.
Just because she's a girl.
Yeah.
And 2 out here in the inning.
She got a catcher booty too. You can tell she's a catcher. Got a big booty. That's good.
Ball 2 up in the zone. Oberther so far has flown out to the center fielder in the second inning.
She got a catcher butt. Yep.
Called a strike on the outside part of the plate. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. Fouled off to the right side, out of play. So that will run the count to 2-2.
2-2-2.
And we got Deuces Wild again here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Nobody on. Here's the pitch from Rivers. See you later. Pull the chainsaw, and that will end the inning. So Rivers shuts down the Panthers again here in the top of the 4th inning. Also with a pair of strikeouts as the Panthers get no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We'll head to the bottom part of the 4th inning. Wapahani with a 3-0 lead. Welcome back here on the WHS Network as we get the bottom of the 4th underway. We'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. Muncie Dragway, owned by Scott and Dawn Daniels. The Muncie Dragway is located along State Road 67, west of Albany, Indiana. For more information and upcoming events, please visit their website at www.munciedragway.com and also contact them at 765-789-8470. Again, that is Muncie Dragway, family fun, an 1/8 mile at a time. We'll begin things here in the bottom of the 4th with the pitcher, number 17, Brevin Rivers. 0 for 1, the count on him. Swung on and missed, now 0-2. Brivers grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning. And that one will be fouled off. So Rivers stays alive in the at-bat. Wilson with the windup and the pitch. And a little bloop shot in the center field and right to the center fielder. So one out to begin the Raiders' bottom of the fourth.
So left fielder number 11, Isaiah Brozier.
Left fielder number 11, Isaiah Brozier, now at the plate. Had a double in the second inning. Ground ball to first baseman. Collects. He'll take it himself. For the second out of the inning. Now the number 9 hitter in the order, right fielder number 4, Riley Longfellow. Longfellow struck out looking in the second inning. So 0-1 here on Longfellow with Stanley waiting on deck. A ball high now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swung on and missed. Nice cut there by Longfellow, just came up empty on that one. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Longfellow will foul that one off. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 out, nobody on here in the Raiders' fourth inning. Another one fouled off the top of the dugout.
Almost took out JD. Bounce.
So the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the Raiders' right fielder, Riley Longfellow, and the pitch. And called strike 3 looking to end the inning. So Wapahani goes down silently here in the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the top of the fifth here from Raider Field. Wapahani with a 3-0 lead. Again, this will be our Stoops Automotive Group game break. Welcome back to the WHS Network. We'd like to thank another one of our sponsors here, Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC Dealership, owned by Randy Stoops. They're located at 4055 West Clare Lane in Muncie, Indiana. Stoops has a wide variety of brand new and pre-owned vehicles of quality brand names. So if you have an interest in a vehicle, would like to know more information about one, contact Stoops at 765-288-1903. And also visit their online website at stoopsauto.com. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They're also open Saturday from 8 to 4. So a special thanks to Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC dealership. Stoops is driven to be the best. Speaking of a ball driven, that was the ball driven down the left field line by Fisher. Foul. Now no balls and 2 strikes on the Panthers' right fielder, the number 9 hitter in the order. And then after him, right back to the top there with the pitcher, Chris Wilson. And that pitch couldn't have missed by a whole lot there. So 1-2 now on Fisher. Brevin Rivers with the windup and the pitch. See you later. Pull the chainsaw. Good afternoon. And good evening. Down goes Fisher. So 1 out here in the inning. And back to the top of the order here with the pitcher, number 8, Chris Wilson. Wilson so far 0 for 2 on the day. He grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning, then reached base in the second off of an error, as that will be laced in the center field down in front of Garrett Stanley for a 1-out single for Chris Wilson.
Pitcher number 8, Chris Wilson.
Now the number 2 hitter in the order, left fielder number 3, Michael Ruiz. Ruiz so far 0 for 1 here on the evening. Drew a walk in the first inning and then flew out to the left fielder in the second. Rivers looking to get an out right here, preferably a double play. That'd be nice. Middle infield playing in double play depth. Here's the pitch to Ruiz. Popped up in the shallow right field, and Longfellow lays out for the grab. A fine play from a fine player there in Riley Longfellow. Nicely done, young man. 2 outs now in the inning after that Well Gym nominee. So 2 out, 1 on. And the shortstop, number 10, Tommy Gallagher at the plate, 0 for 2 on the night. Struck out swinging in the first and flew out to the center fielder in the third inning, as Rivers will start him out 1-0. Man, a nice grab there by Longfellow. I didn't think anybody was going to get there at first. Vickery was still a little bit away, about 4 or 5 feet away from it. Young, that was going to be a tough over-the-shoulder grab. So nicely done by Riley Longfellow. 2 balls, no strikes on Gallagher. Rivers with a pitch. And they're called a strike now, 2-1. That's in there, a ball low.
She's smart, she's funny, and she's cute. Girls don't like that. Other boys don't like that.
3 balls, 1 strike. Rivers with the windup and the pitch. And that will be ball 4. So a 2-out walk, hoping that doesn't come back to haunt you there.
Hitter number 12, Jake Baker.
She doesn't think she's better than anyone else.
Mound meeting.
So we'll have a mound visit here by head coach Brian Dudley. So he'll stroll on out there to the pitcher's mound. During this time, we'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here. Got B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended and respected professional corporation, they strive to aggressively represent all their clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. For more information, you can visit his online website at www.bjosephdavis.com. So the mound visit over quick, short, and sweet there by head coach Brian Dudley. As now we have a little bit of a situation now with first and second, 2 out here in the inning. And 1-0 the count here on the designated hitter, number 12, Jake Baker. Baker so far 0 for 2, reached base on an error in the first inning, and then popped up to the second baseman in the third. So 1-1 the count here on Baker. Rivers with a windup and a 1-1 offering. Man, that couldn't have missed by much. Main thing is, all you want is consistency. If he's consistently calling out a ball, then I won't hear too many, arguments. At least from the coaching side of things. Now the fans, they might say something, but as long as you're consistent for both sides, then probably really not going to have a whole lot of problem with the coaching staff or the players. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball through the right side of the infield. And that will score a run. A two-out single and or actually a two-out walk there of Gallagher come back to haunt the Raiders. So the Panthers still have him at first and second. Still 2 outs here in the inning. And a pitch here fouled back out of play. 0-1 here on the Panthers' third baseman, Hank Seymour. Seymour is 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the first and flew out to the center fielder in the third. Ball low in the dirt, 1-1 the count. Again, Rivers to this point has still pitched a really good ball game here for himself. He has given up 4 hits now, almost nearly 5 innings of work, 4 2/3 so far, and lined into center field. And Stanley will not make the grab. Looked like at first he had it, but it came out of his glove. And now the Panthers score another run to make it a 2-3 or a 3-2 lead now for Wapahani. So 2-out magic at its finest here for the Panthers as they continue to hopefully get things going here. Popped up on the left side. Wise under it and will make the catch, so that will end the inning. But the Panthers put 2 runs up on the board here in the 5th inning, all with 2 outs, as it's now a 3-2 lead for Wapahani. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back with more Raider baseball here on the WHS Network. All righty, welcome back here, folks. We got the bottom of the fifth inning here for the Raiders. And we will lead things off here with Garrett Stanley. We do have a new pitcher now on for Park Tudor, number 11, Antonio Dominguez. One ball and one strike here to Stanley.
It's gonna be literally freezing.
I'm serious. I might sit in the car.
Ball outside now, 2-1.
Along the sideline.
Yeah, I wish I could. There are like 30 fields, so you can't. But I'm gonna look like an idiot though, leggings and then sweats over a winter coat and hoodie and hood up.
So now the count here, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Where are the pictures? I can't. My fucker is now. I can't take pictures.
And a line drive to the shortstop. He'll be there to make the play. So a fine shot there by Garrett Stanley. Unfortunately, couldn't come away with anything.
Shortstop, number 12, Chandler Wise.
So 1 out now to begin the inning. And the shortstop, number 12, Chandler Wise, now at the plate. Again, all the defensive changes now for Park Tudor. Again, pitching here, Antonio Dominguez. At center field, Chris Wilson. Over in right, Michael Ruiz. And playing left field now is Caleb Thomas. So again, that's the defensive changes here for the Park Tudor Panthers. As Chandler Wise reaches base on another error by the third baseman.
Who's in center? Is that the old pitcher?
And a deep drive right center field by Lipscomb. Right fielder's there and will make the catch for the second out of the inning. There's the third baseman, number 22, Braxton Davis. So a man on and 2 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch. And I don't think he offered on that, so 1-0 to begin things. On Braxton Davis, Drew Young to follow. And then Stephen Vickery after him. Pickoff moved back to first, nearly got away from the first baseman. Here's the 1-0
Strike. He wanted it too.
on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dominguez comes to the set. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off and out of play. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Davis. Braxton so far on today, 1 for 2. Also with a run scored, had a single in the first, scored a run, and flew out to the center fielder in the third. Dominguez will come to the set here. Here's the pitch, and a fly ball into shallow center field. And that will end the inning. So the Raiders get a base runner here in the bottom of the fifth. Nothing to show for here, as Wapahani gets no runs on no hits, also 1 error, and 1 left on. We'll head to the top of the sixth here on the WHS Network. Wapahani leads it here 3-2. 1 ball and no strikes here on number 19, Ian Kroll. And that's going to be an error on the throw by the shortstop, Chandler Wise.
The catcher, number 4, Jennifer Oberther.
So a tough way to get things started here in the top of the 6th. As Kroll reaches base on another error by the Raiders. Second error of the game now for Wapahani. Catcher number 4, Jennifer Oberther now to plate. Here's the pitch from Rivers and puts the bunt down. Nicely done there. Rivers on the first and a 1-3 putout for the first out of the inning. So nicely done there by Oberther. Sacrifice bunt for her.
The pitcher, number 11, Antonio Dominguez.
Antonio. Say it with a, yes. Say it with a Spanish accent.
So the pitcher, number 11, Antonio Dominguez at the plate.
Strike.
And that'll be in there for a ball, 1-0.
Well, since way up here in the dirt, I'm swinging almost everything.
Record knows strike out because we swing every single ball. Unless it hit me, I'm going to swing at it.
Here's the pitch.
Or bounce.
Called a strike now, and even the count up here at 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, you got Kroll out at second base. He came in for Scroggins. And the pitch, a ball low now, 2-1.
One man by him, probably. It'd be Drew. Probably be or Braxton.
Well, yeah, 1-2.
Swung on and missed strike 2. He was going chopping for wood right there. So Dominguez here with an even count here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kroll out at second base. And a pitch. See you later. Strikes out swinging for the second out of the inning. A big out there by Rivers.
Where's this kid playing now? Center field?
And now the center fielder, number 8, Chris Wilson.
The center fielder, number 8, Chris Wilson.
Wilson was the man on the mound through the first 4 innings of the game. A ball outside, 1-0. Wilson on today, 1 for 2, had a single in the 5th inning, and the first and second inning grounded out to the shortstop in the first and reached base on an error in the second. Also scored a run in the 5th. 2 balls, no strikes on Wilson. Rivers will come to the set, and the pitch. A ball low and away now, 3-0.
Come on, Brad.
He's going to have to come all the way back right here. Following him, you got Mike Ruiz, but we'd like to see him next inning. And called a strike now, 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch from Rivers. Fouled off. Nice pitch right there. Got him on the inside part of the plate. It was right there, juicy enough to where you want to take a swing at it, but you're not so sure if you want to, and you do, and you fouled off your knuckles. And now it's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes here on center fielder Chris Wilson. Again, a man at second base and 2 out. Rivers with a payoff pitch. And a ground ball to second baseman. Vickery collects, throws to first, and that's that. Nicely done there by Vickery. And nicely done there by Brevin Rivers. 6 solid innings of work here for Brevin Rivers on the night. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Raiders with a 3-2 lead. We'll be back with more on the WHS Network. Welcome back here to the WHS Network on YouTube.com. A bottom of the sixth inning here, a 3-2 lead here for Wapahani as we enter the sixth. And what's been a great game here so far. You know, you think of a championship game, this is the kind of game you'd like to really watch here. Both teams going back at it. And you know, really a great pitching performance on both sides. The Raiders were able to execute for 3 runs through the first 2 innings of the ball game. Since then, been a little silent here with the bats. But we're hoping to pick things up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Dominguez will come to the set. Here's the pitch, well outside. Now 2-1 on the Raiders' first baseman, Drew Young. Drew so far today 1 for 2, had a single in the first, and then popped it up to the shortstop in the third. Now 3-1. Dominguez comes to the set, and the 3-1 offering will be slapped down the third base line, foul. So a full count here on Young. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, the Raiders have 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up here in the bottom of the 6th inning, hoping for more than that. And that's going to be ball 4. So a great at bat there by Young. As he will begin things here with a leadoff walk to the bottom of the 6th inning. And now the second baseman, number 8, Stephen Vickery.
The second baseman, number 8, Stephen Vickery.
And looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner down at first. It'll be number 9, Drew Luce.
We have a mound meeting.
And a mound meeting here. So, again, a runner at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll be back right after this break. So again here, Vickery at the plate here for the Raiders, coming back out of the mound visit. You got a man on at first, Drew Luce now, the runner here for Drew Young. And here's a pickoff move back to first. Luce in there safely, getting jersey dirty now. Vickery showed bunt, but brought the bat back. As it is 1-0 to begin things here with Steven. Vickery so far today 0 for 2, grounded out to the third baseman in the first inning, then flew out to the center fielder in the third. So lucky number 3 right here. Third time's the charm. Bunted to the third base side. This is going to be a close play, and Vickery with a bunt single. Nicely done by Stephen Vickery. A well-placed bunt, and obviously showcasing the speed down the first base.
The pitcher, number 17.
And the runners at first and second now get the Raiders going offensively to begin this 6th inning. So now you have the pitcher, number 17, Brevin Rivers, at the plate. The corner infielders playing in. Not quite sure if I'd be doing that if I was those guys. And the first baseman now playing a little bit further back. I think he got the idea now that I don't think he's going to be putting a bunt down anytime soon. Here's the pitch. Ball low. So 2 balls, no strikes here on Rivers. Loose at second, Vickery at first. The Raiders threatening to put some more runs up on the board here in the inning. And a little nub shot to the first base side, foul, now 2-1. Sure, Rivers would probably like to have that one back. Probably not 2-0 pitch you want to go after. If you do, you'd like to get a good piece of the lumber on the ball there. 2-1. Dominguez comes to the set and the pitch. Foul tip, now 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Dominguez gets his signs here from his catcher. And the 2-2 offering will be laced down the third base line. Here comes Loose, motoring around third. Vickery heading to third. Rivers now to second. And that will be a RBI double for Brevin Rivers. Nicely done, Brevin, as he tacks on another run here to help himself out. Again, Drew Loose scores on the play. Vickery now to third base. So Rivers at second, Vickery at third, and a pitching change now for the Panthers. That's going to be the end of the road there for Dominguez, as we'll step aside here for a break during the pitching change. Again, the Raiders lead at 4-2. We'll be back right after this Stoops Automotive Group game break. So the pitching change is now complete here. We do have a new pitcher, number 13, Graham Fisher, coming in the game for Dominguez. So now left fielder number 11, Isaiah Brozier, with a great opportunity here, second and third, and nobody out. Also, we do have a new runner out there at second base. Number 5, Evan Roush at second base.
He's running for somebody? Yes, Evan's running.
So 1 ball, no strikes here to Brozier. And a pitch shows bunt, but nothing going there. Now 2-0. Obviously, the infield playing in. Wapahani up by 2. We're going to try to limit them to only the runs that they have scored so far. But the Raiders threatening for more here. Here's the pitch. And right to the second baseman, a line out. Couldn't have been about another 1.5 feet, 2 feet to the right or left, and that would have been a base hit. So very unfortunate for Brozier. Good piece of hitting, though.
Number 10.
Just unfortunately right to the glove. So now 1 out. The right fielder number 4, Riley Longfellow, at the plate. Or actually,
Evan Roush.
going to have a pinch hitter. Number 10, Seth Adams.
Sorry, so the turn needs to drop too early, but you'll have to deal with it.
So Adams with his first plate appearance of the evening.
It's 32 degrees.
Coming off the bench here with a great opportunity. Got to execute. Here's the pitch from Fisher, and that's going to be a fly ball left field. That might land in. And the left fielder's there and will make the play. Nicely done. So now 2 up and 2 down after the
Center fielder, number 15.
walk and
Stanley.
single of Rivers. So again, Young led off the inning with a walk. He scored. Vickery at third. You got Roush at second, running for Rivers. And now the top of the lineup here with Garrett Stanley at the plate. We've got to find a way to cash in. You got second and third and nobody out. You need to get both of these runs in right here. You can never score too many runs. Got to cushion that lead. A ball high now, 1-1. Stanley so far today, 0 for 2. Drew a walk, scored a run. Here's the 1-1 from Fisher. And that's going to be a high fly ball, left center field. And they will make the play for the third down of the inning. So the Raiders able to score a run. So that's good at least. Cushion the lead a little bit more. A 4-2 advantage here as we head to the top of the 7th here. This is the Wapahani Invitational Championship game, all on the line right here. We'll be back with more after this break. All righty, welcome back here, folks, with the top of the 7th inning. They're on the WHS network. Again, the Raiders lead it here 4-2. We do have a new pitcher for Wapahani. Number 12, Chandler Wise. So 6 strong innings here by Brevin Rivers. A job well done, young man. Went out there and kept the Raiders not only in the ball game, but was able to help them get an insurance run there in the bottom of the 6th inning. Offensively, the Raiders have done what they've needed to do here through 6 innings. So now you go into the top of the 7th here. You put all the cards on the table. And got to find a way to get these last 3 outs of the ball game.
Why is Nicholas in the hood? He is in the hood, though.
So number 3, Michael Ruiz, will lead things off here in the 7th. And he'll be in there for a strike, 0-1. Wise just pitched this past week, actually on Wednesday, when we took on Cowan. He started in that game. Very nice pitching performance. Had a great day at the plate as well. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And a little nub shot to the second baseman. There's Vickery. He'll squeeze that one for out number 1. Oh, yeah, that was actually Evan Roush. Pardon me. Vickery has now moved over to shortstop since Chandler came into the ball game. So, again, Evan Roush at second base. And we have shortstop number 10, Tommy Gallagher, at the plate here with 1 out in the top of the 7th.
She don't freeze over the weekend.
I might freeze tomorrow and not come back.
And their call to strike, even the count up here at 1-1. Wapahani 2 outs away from claiming the Invitational Championship. Ground ball to the third baseman. Davis collects, throws on to first, and second out of the inning. A 5-3 putout.
The designated hitter, number 12, Jake Baker.
So 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th. And the designated hitter, number 12, Jake Baker, at the plate. And they're called a strike, 0-1. Wise came in the ball game here throwing strikes early in this one. A ball low to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike here. Baker on the day, 1 for 3. Reached base on an error in the first, popped it up to the shortstop, the second baseman in the third, and then singled and got an RBI in the 5th. So the Panthers down to their last strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wise in the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Just a bit high for ball 2. To even the count here. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Wise again with a windup and a 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to the third base side as Baker stays alive here in the AB. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Wise. Just a bit outside for ball 3. Didn't miss by a whole lot, but didn't miss by a little there. Well, here's the payoff pitch. And will it be in play? There's Lipscomb, and nearly had the diving grab in front of the dugout. You love the hustle there by Lipscomb and Young on the play. So the count remains here, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch, and that will be ball 4. So a 2-out walk to Jake Baker, his 3rd time on base today.
21, Hank Seymour.
And the third base, number 21, Hank Seymour, will stand in here with, again, 2 out, 1 on. Struck out in the first inning, flew out to the center fielder in the third, and an RBI single in the fifth, as he will begin things here 0-1. Wise gets his signs from Lipscomb, and the 0-1 pitch.
Strike 2.
Called strike 2. So again, the Panthers down to their last strike. Wise comes to the set. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 gets him swinging, and that's the old ball game, folks. Your Wapahani Raiders defeat the Park Tudor Panthers by a final score here of 4-2, and now improved to 12-3 on the season. So they are now the 2018 Wapahani Invitational champs. Again, the Wapahani Raiders, great victory here today. Great couple of victories, actually. Cambridge City earlier on this morning, a 6-2 final score victory. And now a 4-2 victory tonight to claim the championship crown. Best of luck there to Park Tudor the rest of the way for those guys, as we will step aside here for a break, and we'll be back here with the post-game report on the WHS Network. All right, welcome back here, folks, to the post-game report again. Your Wapahani Raiders defeat the Park Tudor Panthers here today in the 2018 Wapahani Invitational Championship game. 4-2 final score, as the Raiders are able to tack on a late run there in the bottom of the sixth inning to give them an insurance run there and move on to 12-3 on the season. Great victory here tonight for Wapahani. We take a look here at the overall line score this evening. Raiders had 4 runs here on 5 hits, 3 errors, and 6 left on base, while Park Tudor scored 2 runs on 5 hits, 3 errors, and 8 left on base. Again, Park Tudor now falls to 4-6 on the season. The losing pitcher this evening is Chris Wilson for Park Tudor. And Brevin Rivers gets the victory tonight for your Wapahani Raiders. A nice, very nice pitching outing there by Brevin. Got the job done here this evening, kept his team in the game, and just a great pitching performance all the way around the board here for Wapahani today. Started with Riley Porter to begin the day there in Game 1, and then you had Brevin Rivers here tonight. Got the job done, and Chandler Wise came in to shut the door on the Panthers there in the 7th inning. So a great team victory, actually a great team victory a couple times here today. And so now they'll move on to bigger and better things here as they get their Wapahani Invitational Championship medals. We'll go ahead and take the screen off of there. So a couple pictures here for the fellas. So congratulations there to them. Again, best of luck there to the Park Tudor Panthers the rest of the way of the season for those guys. We're a good team there, very well coached. So best of luck to them throughout the rest of the season. But the Raiders, again, you know, they got the sticks going here early. Was able to play 3 runs within the first 2 innings of the ball game. That was crucial. Then you had the pitching performance like Rivers did. He had to have some innings there where he did get out of some trouble. So it wasn't just completely just mowed down these guys, but he was able to escape trouble. He was able to make the pitch in order to get it, and the guys made plays behind him. Now, granted, yes, we did make 3 errors here in the ball game tonight, but still, we did enough to get the win, and that's all that matters. And sometimes, you'd like to play maybe a little bit better, especially defensively, to keep them from getting any opportunity, but still a well-played game here for the Raiders. Nothing to be disappointed about whatsoever. Just want to make sure to get better each day, get better during practice, every game, and grow together as a team. And you can definitely tell these guys are, have that togetherness involved, which is so crucial for any team. You have to have togetherness, and when you got that, and the team aspect of because you always look at individual stats and everything else, and you don't want to get caught up into that. It's still a team game. Individually, yes, you want to do good, but as a team, you want to do even better, and you want to go out there and win. You want to win all the time, as many times as you can. So that's what really the focus has got to be about, and you can tell that's what the focus is about here for your Wapahani Raiders, as again they take down Park Tudor 4-2 here this evening. Again, we'll be back at it this coming week. We have some more Lady Raider softball and Raider baseball coming up this week. We'll make sure to put the details on what games we'll be getting after here this coming week. So another busy week of Raider sports here on the WHS Network. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors, Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC Dealership, as well as University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle DDS, B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, Liberty Perry Alumni Association, and the Muncie Dragway, all proud sponsors of the WHS Network. So again, folks, this has been Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Thanking all of you for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the WHS Network. Have a great night, folks.